Wait, what do you want to put on my head?
Nothing. It's just for treatment, Ma.
You better start confessing now before I call the police.
Please, I'm sorry.
Everyone in Riverstone City knew the road that led to Riverside Junction. It was always noisy, always alive, always full of small dreams trying to survive. On that same road, in a small corner with peeling paint and dusty pavement, stood a salon that would one day cause the entire city to talk. But before the shouting, before the police cars, before the tears and regrets, everything began with one simple thought in the mind of a young woman named Lena Okafor. If only customers returned faster, my life would change. That thought was dangerous, but Lena didn't know it yet. Lena grew up in a compound filled with loud voices, cracked walls, and children running everywhere. Her mother sold vegetables at the market, and her father left when she was 7, carried away by promises he never kept. Life wasn't easy, but Lena had something that made her different: a strange, deep love for patterns. While other kids played games, Lena drew shapes in the sand. She arranged pebbles into spirals. She braided grass into tiny ropes. Even her school notebooks were filled with lines, twists, careful rows of strokes that somehow looked artistic. Her mother often stopped to admire her work. "Lena, you see the world with different eyes," she would say. But being talented did not pay rent. When Lena turned 18, she begged her mother to enroll her in Golden Touch Academy, a famous beauty training school where people learned professional hair, makeup, nails, and everything in between. Admission was expensive, too expensive for a market woman. But her mother believed in her so much that she sold her old freezer to pay the first installment. "Go, my child. Make me proud," she said with shaky hands. Golden Touch Academy wasn't like ordinary training. It was intense. A full academy with classrooms, weekly competitions, style challenges, and strict grading. Students weren't treated like apprentices, they were treated like creators. They competed in fastest braid of the week, most creative hairstyle inspired by nature, cultural hair art designs, blindfolded styling, freestyle hair sculpting competitions. Lena shined in creativity, design, neatness, and precision. Other students always came to her for help when they needed ideas. Her hairstyles were masterpieces, but there was a problem. She was painfully slow. Her instructor, Madame Sena, tried to help. "You are gifted, Lena, but customers don't have 6 hours to sit down. You must learn speed." No matter how much she practiced, her hands refused to rush. After 2 years, she graduated with good grades, but no confidence in her ability to meet customer demand. Still, she didn't want to return home empty-handed. With her remaining savings and the money her mother borrowed from a cooperative group, she rented a tiny kiosk beside a tailor's shop in Riverside Junction. The shop was small, but Lena beautified it with her drawings. She wanted it to feel like art. She named it Lena's Signature Styles. The first week, only 2 customers came. The second week, only 1. Then none for days. She began doing free hairstyles for children in the neighborhood just to attract attention. People admired her work, but always said the same thing: "This hair will last 1 month. I won't come back soon." That sentence became her biggest enemy. At home, bills were gathering like clouds before a heavy storm. Her younger brother, Tochi, needed school fees. Her mother needed medicine for her blood pressure. Rent was due soon. Her shop electricity bill arrived even though she barely used power. Her training loan payment reminder came too. Every night she lay in bed staring at the ceiling, her fear growing. She kept telling herself, if only customers returned faster, just a little faster. She watched other salons. Some were messy, some were rough, some were very fast but not neat. Yet those salons were full every day. People kept returning to them. One day she heard a customer at a nearby rough salon laughing, saying, "This hairstyle no day last. I fit come back next week." Another woman said, "I don't tire for that neat girl down the road. Her hair too last. I no get chance to return." It was like the whole world was mocking her hard work. One night, Lena sat alone in her shop. The bulb flickered dimly above her. Her eyes were swollen from crying. As she wiped her face, a memory crossed her mind. A classroom demonstration from Golden Touch Academy. It was a lesson about hair product reactions. Madame Sena had shown them how. A tiny bit of certain chemicals can cause heat. A drop too much causes discomfort. Some mixtures create tingling sensations. Some cause itching. She strictly warned them, never use these experiments on real customers. They are only to teach you what to avoid. But now, Lena wasn't thinking like a student. She was thinking like someone drowning, searching for something to hold on to, even if it was dangerous. She stared at her hair creams. She stared at the leftover treatment products from her training kit. Her heart beat fast. Her fingers trembled. "No, I can't do this," she whispered. But another voice answered, "You need to survive. Just a little. Not too much. Just enough for them to return." That night, she mixed a tiny amount of the forbidden product with her regular hair conditioning cream. She tested it on her arm. It tingled lightly. Not painful. She convinced herself it wasn't harmful. She placed the mixture in an unlabeled container. Her life changed from that moment. Customers began to return. The next day, she used the mixture on a woman who came for braids. 2 days later, the woman returned, scratching her scalp. "Auntie, I no understand. My hair is reacting. Please help me." Lena acted shocked, washed it, treated it, and collected money for the treatment. Another customer returned, and another, and another. Soon, people believed she had special treatment powers. Customers kept coming back for relief. People recommended her. Her shop became full. Her pockets became heavy. Her name spread. She bought better equipment. She hired 2 assistants. She repainted her shop. She became a small celebrity in Riverside Junction. But greed is like perfume. Once you smell it, you start spraying more than necessary. Lena began experimenting with stronger mixtures. Just a little more here, a little more there. She convinced herself she wasn't harming anyone. People love coming here, she told herself. I'm helping them. But she wasn't helping. The neighborhood changed too. The tailor beside her shop started saying, "Business done better since Lena started here. People plenty now." Street vendors positioned themselves near her shop because her place attracted customers. Children playing outside used her name to tease each other. "Your hair goes scratched like Lena's customer." Lena ignored it because money covered her guilt. She bought new clothes. She took her mother for checkups. She rented a bigger apartment. She even sponsored her brother's school project. Success was coming fast, too fast. One afternoon, a woman named Nadine walked into the shop. She looked calm, neat, observant, and quiet. She asked for simple twists. As Lena worked, Nadine noticed something strange. Lena kept staring at one small plastic container. She applied cream very carefully. She looked too calm whenever customers complained. She seemed prepared for itching before it even happened. Nadine said nothing, but she returned 2 days later, pretending she needed a touch-up. Her voice was calm, too calm. Then she brought her cousin a week later, pretending the cousin wanted braids. Lena picked up the unlabeled container. Nadine's eyes caught the movement instantly. As Lena moved the container toward her cousin's scalp, "Stop!" Nadine's voice shook the entire shop. Everyone froze. "What is inside that cream?" Nadine shouted. Her cousin stood up. The assistant stared in shock. Other customers watched with wide eyes. Lena's hand began to shake violently. Sweat rolled down her neck. Her throat tightened. Her knees weakened. She dropped the container. Nadine stepped closer. "I spoke to 3 women," she said slowly. "They all said the same thing. Same reaction. Same timing. And you always look ready. So tell us what you were doing." Lena started crying. "I'm sorry," she sobbed. "I didn't mean to harm anybody. I was desperate. I just wanted customers." Before she could finish, someone had already called the police. When the police arrived and escorted Lena out, the entire Riverside Junction followed. People shouted. Some insulted. Some cried. Others recorded videos. Children pointed. Her success collapsed like a rotten building. Her assistants ran away. Her mother fainted when she heard the news. Her brother hid indoors out of shame. At the station, Lena sat shaking and crying. Her world had ended. Hours later, the last person she expected walked in, her former instructor, Madam Sina. She sat down in front of Lena, looked into her swollen eyes, and said softly, "Lena, I warned you in school. Talent without discipline becomes dangerous. You forgot the rule. Beauty should heal, not harm." Lena burst into tears. Her guilt was now a heavy stone she couldn't carry. After weeks of investigation, she paid settlements. She apologized publicly. She attended safety and professional training. She promised never to use harmful mixtures again. She didn't go to jail, but the punishment was enough to crush her spirit. When she returned to her shop, everything was quiet. Her signboard was cracked. The chairs were dusty. The mirror was broken. People passed without looking inside. She packed every harmful product, every unlabeled container, every memory of her mistake, and threw them away. She posted a new handwritten rule on the wall. If success comes slowly, let it come slowly. No shortcuts again. Weeks passed, no customers. She spent her days cleaning, practicing new styles on her mannequin head, and talking to herself to stay sane. At night, she cried silently, asking herself why she ever made such a terrible choice. One afternoon, as she was about to close her shop, a woman walked in. She had kind eyes and a gentle smile. "I know what happened," the woman said softly. "But I also know people make mistakes. Everybody deserves a second chance. Please, can you do my hair?" Lena's mouth opened slightly. She couldn't speak. She simply nodded with tears in her eyes. As she braided the woman's hair with clean products and honest hands, something inside her healed. Not fully, but enough to take a step forward. The slow rise back to life. From that day, one customer came, then another the next week, then a small girl with her mother, then two sisters, then a neighbor. People still whispered, some still judged, but those who trusted her became her new family. She rebuilt her business slowly, with honesty, with patience, with real skill, with true care. It wasn't fast, it wasn't loud, it wasn't glamorous, but it was real. And real success longer than any trick. Years later, when Lena became a respected stylist known for her gentle hands and safe products, she shared her story with young stylists. She always ended it with the same sentence: "A shortcut is a road that looks easy, but it is always the longest and most painful." And she was right, because the price of hasty success is always regret.